Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. Today's message is from someone that I have channeled a lot, but I have never channeled for this group, so it's going to be a different experience. And it's a extraterrestrial being, which kind of sounds wild and crazy, except like half of us on Earth are ETs. I'm an ET originally, so it's not really as crazy as it sounds. I'm gonna have to give you quite a backstory on this. I'm trying to think how to do it because it's kind of a lot of a backstory. So before I could channel, before I could have visions, just more or less on demand, I would get all my information through meditation. So I'd meditate and then sometimes a cool vision would come through. So one of my, I should back up again. See, there's so much to this story. So what would happen in these meditations is, sometimes I get really cool things. I could see like a spirit animal, or there'd be some other kind of message in there. Every once in a while I would have some type of ET show up. So it was basically always some version of a gray is how I refer to them, how the community tends to refer to them, which is just the stereotypical alien with the gray skin, with the big, enormous eyes and everything that are black. And so I'd get these visions and I'd see a gray and I'd start panicking because I would think of like every scary movie I ever saw in my whole life with aliens, and I'd think of like, when the people who were abducted by aliens and how they would describe those who abducted them, and it was the Greys, right? So I would see them in my visions and I'd be like, oh no, I don't want to interact with them, and I'd panic and they'd disappear because they would know how I was reacting and they don't want to scare me, so they would disappear. So that's kind of the little background story I'll give you. And then I was trying to overcome the fear because I knew these beings didn't mean me harm, and I knew I had to know them or they wouldn't be trying to interact with me now. So I was trying to get over the fear. So went into meditation one day, had a vision, again, is what I'll call it. So I saw this blue female alien, and it was just like from her neck up that I was seeing her, and she was at quite a bit of a distance, like almost like across the room length distance. And the first thing I thought, it was the weirdest thing, the first thing I thought was, she's beautiful, she's so beautiful. And her head, it's like it went, it's hard to explain, it went out, but if there was like a side shot, it would be like at an angle that it went up. So she had this kind of like curved head. She had these huge all black eyes, and I just immediately loved her and knew her and thought she was beautiful. And after I thought, oh, she's so beautiful, I was saying, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. I'm not scared, don't leave. And so she's like slowly coming closer and closer and closer. And she gets right up to me and she goes forehead to forehead with me. And it's like, we closed our eyes and we went forehead to forehead. And it was like this energetic hug. It was like this energy exchange that was so loving. She was all love. And when she did this, my energetic body that is, going forehead to forehead with her, I reached my hand up to cup her face. It just instinctually, I wasn't thinking anything. It was just I was just on a soul level, just reacting to this energy. And once I did that, she disappeared. So that is my first encounter with the being who I'm channeling for you today. When I started channeling, the first person I started channeling was actually Artemis. And that lasted for like 5 seconds. Truly, it lasted for like 5 seconds, because immediately she started pushing me over to someone else. She said, your mommy wants to talk to you. Now, my mother in this life is very much alive. So she was like, your mommy wants to talk to you. And I was like, my mommy? I was like, is this like a mommy from another life? And she's like, yes. And so I was like, okay. So that was that's pretty much the last I've heard of Artemis after that. But so she was my main all day, every day, answered all my questions guide for a really long time. And she's very hands-on, very loving, like an actual mother in this life to me, where she'll talk to me about anything. She'll talk to me about marriage advice. She'll talk to me about taking care of my kids, about my diet, anything that's mundane and everyday and earthly, or that's, spiritual and way out there. She'd tell me about everything, and she's wonderful, wonderful guide. Her name is Magda. I call her Mags. We've had lots of lifetimes together. So that's the background on this individual. So it was kind of strange the other day, and I'll pull up my notes for you so I can read the channeled message. But it was kind of strange the other day when she came forward, because I was like, I don't talk to her as frequently now, because once she was training me actually she used to work on my spiritual body to tune me up so that I could channel archangels, because you can't always just go right into channeling a really high frequency being. Sometimes you need to start somewhere else that's a little bit lower frequency to have your body kind of acclimate and get used to that process before you can go higher. So I couldn't hear Metatron whatsoever when I started. So she worked with me, and then once I could hear Metatron, then I transitioned over to him. So I don't hear from her as often. I could if I wanted to, but I'm always busy talking to Metatron. So she came to me and she said she wanted to channel, and so I was like, okay. So here's the message. I've come with a purpose. I've come to make contact. You need to understand who we are. She's speaking on behalf of all ETs when she's doing this. You need to understand who we are. We are not the creatures from your books and movies. We are your brothers and sisters. We have the same creator. We have feelings and families and jobs just like you. We work on our self-growth just like you. What makes our worlds different is that we are in higher dimensions than you are. So we are aware of our interconnectedness, and our love for each other and you flows more freely. Earth has forgotten its connection. You have forgotten you are part of an endless family that stretches out in every direction to every universe. We have superior technology and understanding of the unseen, and when Earth is ready, we will share that with you so that you may expand yourselves and be reconnected with the rest of creation. Earth has been under protection by specialized groups of us for a long time. There are very few rogue species who would like Earth to remain unaware and low vibrational. They are not operating from a space of love, and we are very aware of them. They know their time is drawing to a close, as Creator has decreed that Earth and humanity will ascend, and no creation can deter that. Do not worry about them. They have no real power. I am telling you now that you may be aware there is a small minority who is working against your well-being, but that does not represent the rest of creation that watches over your planet and supports your planet. We will not abandon your side. There is more love in the universes than anything else. It might be hard to imagine because your world has so little love right now, but that is changing. Living on Earth is a difficult life, but that will change too. There will always be some difficulties and emotions like anger and jealousy, but the future of your planet will have far less of these occurrences, and the experience will be short-lived and balanced by love and understanding. There are dark emotions on your planet that will no longer exist once the ascension is complete. Hate, rage, depression, these do not exist in higher dimensions. Their existence makes life on Earth very difficult to experience. You are supported by many, many guides for this reason. Many of you have guides from other planets in addition to your angelic guides. The deep bonds you formed on other planets in other lives are never broken. They will be with you forever. And some souls choose to work and incarnate with each other over and over again. The love never dies. It never fades. It never forgets. Love is forever. And that's the end of her message. I can feel her energy here, which is a trip because I normally don't feel that. This is strange. I'm getting like a visual. Let me ask, hold on. Okay, yeah, so I'm getting a visual on her in like a, for lack of a better descriptor, it's like a Star Trek kind of uniform, like a Starfleet uniform, which, oh my god, that makes sense. Of course you are. Okay, so she's part of it. I don't know why I would never put that together before, but yeah, that makes sense. So, there are, it's just like Star Trek, basically, where there is a Starfleet that is made up of all kinds of different species from all different kinds of planets, and they all have come together and made this Starfleet, and they are overseeing our planet. They are making sure that we're not having species that shouldn't be here coming in and causing problems. So, how funny. So yeah, she's showing me in that uniform. Okay, so I guess she's going to be kind of the representative from there speaking to us moving forward. But I think that's everything she wanted to say. So that's everything I have. And until next time, you guys, I hope you're doing well, and I love all of you. Bye-bye.